I'm Cheney, welcome back to my channel, a place where you can find all things self-development, lifestyle and intentional living. In this week's video, I'm going to be sharing actionable time management tips so that you can get more out of your time and have more time to do the things that you love. So the first step in claiming back your time is doing a time audit. Where is your time actually going? Before we can do anything about using our time more effectively, we need to understand where our time is going, on what tasks, how frequently and how long they are taking us to do. What tasks are taking up large portions of your time? What tasks do you find that you do regularly on a daily basis, weekly basis, whatever the frequency that is? What tasks seem to be time consuming when they really shouldn't be? Go through each of your days and write down the tasks that you tend to do. Keep them to kind of common themes rather than every little thing. Try and keep it to the main things that you do on each day. So that could be cooking, checking emails, depends on the capacity that you're using this in, but write down the main things that you do every single day just so you can get an overview of what task you're actually doing and maybe how long that they take. Then you want to evaluate if they are worth the time that they are taking. Are you falling prey to Parkinson's law? For those of you who don't know what Parkinson's law is, it is where a task expands the time allocated to it. Once you have evaluated your time, we are then going to use the 80-20 rule. Now that you know where your time goes and on what, you will probably notice that 80% of your time goes on 20% of your tasks, or roundabout. We want to drop these tasks out. They're probably non-essential or not important, and if they are, we're going to discuss now how to make them time effective so they're not taking up such a large portion of your time for such a small outcome. Utilize time blocking. Time blocking is a time management method that asks you to divide your day out into blocks. Each block is dedicated to achieving a specific task or a group of tasks, and only those tasks. This might sound like you're turning your calendar into a chaotic mess, however, it can actually have the opposite effect. When you fill your calendar with tasks and things that you actually want to do and achieve, it makes less time available for others to steal. This is particularly useful for those of you who are looking to utilize this time management method within an office space. Days that are time blocked in advance, you won't have to constantly make decisions about what to focus on and when to do them. There is one thing to note with time blocking, and that is the brain can only really focus for about 90 minutes at a time. Anything longer than that and you start to get distracted, inefficient, your thinking isn't as fast or as sharp. So try not to block out time of more than 90-minute stints without putting a break in between them. So if you have got a task that you think is going to take you 4 hours, that's absolutely fine. Block out 90 minutes and then put in breaks in between, and then block out another 90 minutes for that same task. Just make sure you are giving yourself a mental break in between, just so your brain can refresh and then get straight back to it. Batch similar tasks together. When you have related work tasks, batch them together. For example, don't answer your emails and phone calls throughout the day. Plan in a specific time to do exactly that. I like to call these reactive tasks, and it is important that you give a allocated part of the day to that so they don't start distracting you during your other tasks. The reason I say to batch your tasks together is that different tasks require different types of thinking. By batching tasks of the same type together, your brain isn't having to constantly switch gears. This means you can cut the time out reorientating your brain. So if it wasn't evident by the time blocking chapter, you want to time block your time out in your calendar. So if you put a task in your calendar, it increases your likelihood of actually doing it, and it also means that you understand what parts of your day are allocated to what tasks. Makes you less available for other people to take up your time. As I said earlier, do not forget to plan in breaks, even things like lunch break. Put it in your diary. Tackle your MITs first. For those of you who don't know what an MIT is, that stands for most important task. You usually have the most amount of energy in the AM, being that you've just woken up from a restful night's sleep. So it's wise to tackle your most important tasks when you're not drained and you are feeling revitalized and energized. It also means that you have the most brain power at this time of the day, so you're more likely to tackle and complete these tasks quicker and more efficiently. However, that being said, if you know that you are more productive in a certain time of day, so let's say for example that actually for you mornings just aren't the one, you're just really slow to wake up and get going, and actually you're your most effective and your most productive in the afternoon, then plan your tasks for that part of the day. I do not believe in fighting against your natural rhythms, and everyone does have a natural rhythm, and it is important that you understand what that is and how to work with it. If you plan your schedules and your days and your tasks in around the times when you know you're in your flow state, you're going to get a lot more done as opposed to putting that same amount of time in in a time of day where you know you're less effective and you're not in that flow, because you're just going to extend the task. Minimize distractions. The importance of minimizing distractions cannot be emphasized enough. According to a University of California Irvine study, it takes an average of 23 minutes and 15 seconds to get back to the task that you were doing before you got distracted. That is a very valuable amount of time to be wasting on a distraction. If you add up the amount of times a day that you get distracted to check your phone or to scroll Instagram, to pick up a phone call, or even to respond an email, you can see that you're wasting valuable amounts of time just trying to recalibrate and get refocused after you've been distracted. Do whatever you can to ensure that you do not get distracted during your work period. If that means that you have to turn your phone off, turn your phone off. If it means that you have to leave your phone in a different room, then leave your phone in a different room. Put your phone on do not disturb mode, or perhaps download one of those apps where you can lock your phone for a significant period of time that you decide on, so that you can focus on an important task without the distraction arriving. Utilize the many easy ways it is to cut your distractions, which is mainly your phone and email. Set a time limit for your task. As I mentioned earlier, there is a thing called Parkinson's law, where work expands so to fill the time allocated to its completion. Most humans do tend to fall prey to this, and that's because if you have more time to do it, why would you rush? You've got plenty of time to achieve the task. This is far too comfortable a way of thinking, and it also means that where that task may have only taken you 1 hour, you've now expanded it to 3 hours, which means you've lost 2 hours of time that you could be doing something you love with. A little bit of healthy stress for humans is never a bad thing. Set a time limit to complete your task, and even if you make it slightly ambitious, you will probably find that you will still meet that target. So that's it for today's video. Really hope that you found some value in it. Let me know if you have any other time management tips that you live by and find really useful. I'd love to learn what those are in the description or the comment section box below, should I say. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up, as it really helps my channel, and please don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications. You will never miss an upload, which is every single Saturday. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, you can find me at Cheney Parsons. I will also leave that in the description box below. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I'm very grateful for all of you, and I will see you next week.